Okay, so on 5.8, we're going to be dealing with matrix operations. So to start with, when you have a matrix, we have something that's called the order, and the order lets us know how many rows by how many columns a matrix has. So this matrix A that we have here, I see that it has 1, 2, 3 rows and 1, 2 columns. So I would say that this is a 3 by 2 matrix, meaning we have 3 rows by 3 columns. So the little X sign in between the 3 and 2 doesn't mean to times them together. That's just read as by, a 3 by 2 matrix. Okay, so when we have matrices, if they ask us to add or subtract matrices, you have to have matrices with the same order. So I have a 3 by 2 matrix and another 3 by 2 matrix. So since the rows and columns match on both of these matrices, I can go ahead and do whatever operation it asks me to do. So when it asks me to add matrix A with matrix B, all I'll do is I'll add the numbers that are in the same row and same column. So this 3 is in the same position as the -8, so I'll go 3 plus -8, which will give me a -5, and then I will take this -5 and add it with the 9 because they're in the same position, so -5 plus 9 is 4, and then I'll do the 0 plus the 4, and that gives me 4. And then I'll go 1 plus -1, which gives me 0. And then I'll go -4 plus 0, which is -4. And then I'll go 2 plus 3, which gives me 5. Now, if they ask you to multiply, so here they say to find 3A, that means 3 times matrix A. And so that 3 that we're multiplying by, that's called a scalar. And all you do is you take 3 and times it to every single number that was in matrix A. So I'm going to go 3 times 3, which gives me 9. And then I'll go 3 times -5, which gives me -15. Then 3 times 0, which is 0. And then 3 times 1, which is 3. Then I'll go 3 times -4, which is -12. And then 3 times 2, which is 6. So you'll be doing something similar to what I did on this page on number 3. Okay, now if they ask you to multiply matrices, the orders don't necessarily have to match in order to multiply, but you do have to make sure you check the orders. So the order of matrix A, this has 2 rows and 3 columns, so it's a 2 by 3 matrix. The order of matrix B, I have 3 rows and 2 columns. So if you are able to multiply 2 matrices together, the number of columns on the first matrix has to match the number of rows on the second matrix. So I can multiply matrix A times matrix B because those 3's right there are matching. And then my resulting answer will be a 2 by 2 matrix. Now, when we multiply the matrices, once you've determined if you can, so you can't necessarily always multiply matrices together. So if you are able to multiply the 2 matrices together, what you do is you take the row of your first matrix, and I kind of imagine just turning it sideways. So if I took the 2, -3, and 1 and like rotated it like 90 degrees, I would have a 2, -3, and then a 1. And then all I do is I'm going to go 2 times -1 is -2, plus, then I'm going to go 3 times -10, which is -30, and I go plus, and then I'm going to go 1 times 8, which is 8, and now I'm going to take those same numbers in red, and I'm going to now multiply them to their corresponding number in the second column of B. So then I'll go 2 times -6, which is -12, then I'll go plus 3 times 5, -3 times 5, which is -15. Then I'll go plus 1 times -2, which is -2. and then I will erase those. And then I'm going to take the next row for matrix A, turn it sideways, and then do the multiplication again. So I'm going to have -4, 7, and 0. So now I'm going to go -4 times -1, which is 4, plus 7 times 10, which is 70, plus 0 times 8, which is 0. And now I'm going to times those same numbers now to the second column. So -4 times -6 is 24, plus 7 times 5 is 35, plus 0 times 2 is 0. And then once you've done that, all you do is just add the terms together. So like -30 plus 8 is -22, -22 plus 2 is -24. And then 4 plus 70 plus 0 is 74. 24 plus 35 is going to give me 59. And then let's see here, -12 plus -15 is -27. -27 plus -2 is -29. You'll be doing something similar to this on number 10. Oh, and then with the matrices, if they had asked me, on this one where they asked me to do A times B, had they asked me to multiply matrix B times matrix A, matrix B was my 3 by 2 matrix. My matrix A was a 2 by 3 matrix. So if they had asked me to multiply this way, it looks like I still would have been able to multiply them together because the two inside ones match. My resulting matrix would have been a 3 by 3 matrix. But sometimes if you flip it around, those inside middle numbers don't match, so then you can't multiply them together. Okay, so on this one, they asked me to do matrix A times matrix B, and then they asked me to do matrix B times matrix A. Even though we're multiplying the same matrices together, because the order they switched it, in which way we multiply, will give us a different answer. So the order you multiply matrices is going to matter. Okay, so when I look at matrix A, that's 2 rows by 2 columns. Matrix B is also a 2 rows and 2 columns order. So these inside numbers are matching. So I can multiply them together, which means my resulting matrix will be a 2 by 2 matrix. So when I do matrix A times matrix B, since I'm starting with matrix A, I'm going to take the first row in matrix A, the 1 and the 2, turn it sideways, and multiply it with the numbers in matrix B. So I get 1 times 0, which is 0, plus 2 times 3, which is 6. And then I'm going to multiply to the second column. 1 times -2 is -2, plus 2 times 5, which is 10. And now I'm going to take the numbers in the second row of matrix A, the 3 and the 4, turn them sideways, and then multiply again. So 3 times 0 is 0, plus 4 times 3, which is 12. And then I'm going to go 3 times -2, which is -6, plus 4 times 5, which is 20. And then adding the terms together, I get 6, 8, 12, and 14. Now if they ask me to do matrix B times matrix A, since I'm starting with matrix B, I'm going to take the first row of matrix B, turn it sideways, so I'll have the 0 and the -2, and now I'm going to times that to my matrix A. So 0 times 1 is 0, plus -2 times 3 is -6. Now I'm going to multiply to the second column. 0 times 2 is 0, plus -2 times 4 is -8. And now I'm going to take the next row in matrix B, the 3 and the 5, turn it sideways, and then multiply again. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 5 times 3, which is 15. And then I'm going to go 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 5 times 4, which is 20. And then add the terms together. 0 plus negative 6 is negative 6. 3 plus 15 is 18. 0 plus negative 8 is negative 8. 6 plus 20 is 26. So when you compare these two answers, you see they're not the same. So even though I multiplied the two matrices, the same two matrices together, the order that I multiplied them in did give me different results. Okay, now on this one, if they ask you to square a matrix, you can't just go and square all of the numbers inside the matrix. You have to write the matrix twice. So C squared is the same as C times C. So I have to write that matrix C 2 times and multiply it together. So I will be doing 1, 0, 3, negative 1 times 1, 0, 3, negative 1. So you just multiply it with itself. And matrix C is a 2 by 2. So a 2 by 2 matrix times with another 2 by 2 matrix. These match. So my resulting matrix will be another 2 by 2 matrix. So I'm going to take the 1 and the 0 and then multiply that in. So I'm going to go 1 times 1 is 1. 0 times 3 is 0. Now I'm going to times to the second column. So 1 times 0 is 0, and then 0 times negative 1 is 0. Now I'm going to take the second row, so 3 and negative 1. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus negative 1 times 3, which is negative 3. And then 3 times 0, which is 0, plus negative 1 times negative 1, which is positive 1. So then that's going to give me a 1, 0, 0, 1 for my matrix. Now, when I get to this matrix where I have 1s down this main diagonal and 0s in the other spots, that's called the identity matrix. You don't have to get the identity matrix when you multiply a matrix by itself. So then to do matrix, the next one, A squared, I'll take matrix A and times it with matrix A. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And multiply that with another matrix of 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to take the 1 and the 2, times them into the second matrix. So 1 times 1 is 1, plus 2 times 3 is 6. And then I'm going to go 1 times 2 is 2, plus 2 times 4 is 8. And then I'm going to take the numbers in the second row, the 3, and the 4, and now multiply those. So 1 times 3 is 3, plus 4 times 3, which is 12, and then I'll go 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 4 times 4, which is 16. And then when I add my terms together, I get 7, 10, 15, and 22. So as I saw when I did A squared, I didn't end up with the identity matrix like I did on C squared. And you'll be doing something similar to this on question number 12. Now, I do also want to show you in the calculator that we could check these answers. So your little TI FX115s can multiply matrices. So I'll show you how it looks on my graphing calculator, and then I'll have to tell you what buttons to push on your calculators because I can't show that one. But on my graphing calculator, I have a matrix button over here. So I would go second matrix, and then I go over to edit, and then let's see here, this one I've already did of this one right here. So I had a 2 by 3 matrix, so I went to edit and I told my calculator, I just typed in 2 by 3 and then hit enter, and then I just typed in the matrix A that we had over here, and then once I had that matrix typed in, I then got out of my matrix, and then I went second matrix again, and then over to edit, and then I did number 2, And then matrix B was a 3 by 2 matrix, so I just typed in 3 by 2 here and then typed in the matrix that I had. And then I just go second matrix. I grab matrix A, which was number 1, times second matrix. Then I grab matrix B and then times them together, and then I got the answer that we got here. If I wanted to see what matrix B times matrix A was, it doesn't have to be the same answer. So if I did matrix B first times matrix A, notice I got a different answer, and it did end up being a 3 by 3 matrix that I predicted it would be if we multiplied it together. If you have the Casio FX115, you first have to hit the mode button, and then after you hit mode, you hit number 6, which says matrix, and then you choose whether you're going to enter matrix A, B, or C. Just pick a matrix. So like when I do number 1 for matrix A, it then lets me choose what order I want the matrix to be. So I choose a 3 by 3, a 3 by 2, or so on based on what I need. And then you then type in the numbers for the matrix, and then you hit the on button, and then you would go mode 6 again, and then choose your matrix B or whatever matrix B or C that you want to edit, and then type in the type of the matrix you need, and then you hit the on button again to get out of the matrix. And then once you have the matrices edited, then you hit shift, and then number 4, because above number 4 in yellow it says matrix, and then you just grab like number 3 says matrix A, number 4 says matrix B, number 5 says matrix C. So then if I wanted matrix A times matrix B, I would hit number 3 to get matrix A, then I'd go times, and then I'd hit shift 4 again, and then I would choose my matrix B, and then I would hit equals, and then I would get my new matrix. If you have a different Casio than 995 or whatever the other number is, it would be similar buttons to this, but it looks a little bit different. But I don't have that calculator in front of me, so I can't tell you exactly what buttons you push, but it would be similar to what I just put right here. But I can help students individually if you need help with your calculator.